All right, so let me get. Actually, this is really interesting because it's a first for the two of you in many ways. It's your feature debut, and it also is for a film. That's the first time we see you in a feature film. So can we start by describing the challenges of being new to the game in a sense? Pat, you've directed, you worked on TV, you worked on Bad Genius, the series, and I've seen you in a few things as well. I told Sunset about you, My Ambulance. Okay, there you go. You probably know these shows better than me. So can you tell us about transitioning, both of you? Maybe let's start with you. Can you tell us a little bit about transitioning from TV to the big screen?
I think the way of working is totally different. You know, the thing that I have to prepare or do in a day of shooting is quite different from a TV series. And also, I think especially for How to Make Millions Before Grandma Died, the way of acting is also super different from my previous one. I have to like learn a lot of new things. Since the beginning, Pat told me that he would take me to explore a new door of acting work, and we really did it together. So like, how can we make it supernatural? And I just actually live on set. There's no like actual blocking or anything that forced me to do something. It's totally driven by the motivation of the character. So it's quite fun and super happy with the work.
Great, thank you. Your turn. Can you ask us a little bit about shooting your first feature film that turned out to be a huge hit across Southeast Asia?
The thing about movie is that it's my first feature film, so I have no idea what should be done or what shouldn't be done. So we have a lot of fun, like exploring and about the acting that he just said. I just when because I work on the TV series and it's super long, and the length of it makes me cannot be in charge of every detail, but I prefer feature film because when it's like just 2 hours, you can control everything and every detail, and you can like explore many things with the actor and actress. So yeah, and one of the best thing is the chance to you get to meet your audience like this. Yeah, and it's just a blast.
Great. Speaking of which, can you tell us, you were sitting with us during the whole screening, can you tell us a bit about, were you surprised at the reactions during the films?
Yeah.
How different was it from other screenings? I think you've been around Southeast Asia mostly, and you've seen many different audiences before.
Yeah, the thing is that here, I think you're like really enjoy the film. You prepare yourself to be enjoyed by the film, and there's a lot of laughter, much more than I expect. Yeah, and the shower scene. I really love that. Yeah, and it's I mean every laugh of yours like refuel me. Yeah.
What about you, Bilkin? Were you surprised at the reactions, the laughs?
Yeah, I'm quite surprised because some details of the movie was extracted from the culture that was defined in Thai, but I'm quite surprised that in some detail, like even we speak different language, come from like different culture, but we still get into the message or the core of the movie that he tried to portray through it. So yeah, surprise.
Okay, great. Good surprise, I hope. All right. Can you tell us a little bit about building the character? It's kind of a complex character in a sense. Not necessarily, it doesn't start off necessarily as a very good guy, not necessarily the best person. So how did you bring nuance to this? And you had taken a 3-year hiatus, I believe, before making your movie debut.
Yeah.
So how difficult was this, and how did you work on building the character?
Actually, a good thing for me is there is a lot of thing that is quite close to my real life. You know, the background of the Thai Chinese family who live in a big family and how we think and feel about other members of the families. So that benefits me a lot. And but for the rest, that is different from we've done a lot of workshop together, also with other actor in the movies. To the thing is, we have to make a very strong character, so that when we're on set, we just live the character life with the objective of each scene that we have to do. Yeah, I think the workshop part and the preparing part with Pat and the team is very essential for me before going to the scene, actually.
Great, thank you. That's a question actually for you both, even though she couldn't be here with us, but the actress who plays the grandma obviously is at the core of the story, your relationship with her. So can you tell us a little bit about working with her? I was just saying it's a movie of first times for the two of you, but also for her. She's not a professional actress. So can you tell us a little bit about the process of casting her, as far as you're concerned, and working with her to build this relationship? You have any professional experience on TV, and she kind of didn't. So I'm curious how that worked out.
Okay, we start by searching for Ama by we want a person who never done so much acting before, so we can have it fresh, and we just want a person that basically just fit, the chemistry just fits well with him, because we already chose him by that time, and he volunteered to do audition with us for Ama, for the role of Ama. And when we found her, she basically she's very talented, like you saw on the screen. But one thing that's really stood out is that she had no acting concept. So she was actually living the feeling that she has for him. Like she really saw him as her grandson, and that's a really good part. But on the other hand, she with all the when we come to this very intense emotional scene, she will nail it in one shot, in one take. She will nail it. But with the scenes that are very basics, like eating while talking, or like just walking and talking with him, it could took her like 20 takes. So and we always like joke around in the shooting, during the shooting, that she's so magic and she's always unexpected in like, yeah, every way, yeah.
What about you? Could you tell us a little bit about working with Tao? I'm mispronouncing it, okay. Pronunciation fail again.
Yeah. Actually, since the workshop part that we have done, I think she's very kind person, and maybe she's a real grandma. She's a real mom in her life, so she cares a lot about me and also almost every staff on set, because she feels like everyone is her child or grandchild. So that makes me get into her more easier than other casts that we have been through. And yeah, I just feels like she's my real grandma. Yeah, she's very similar.
So you use some of your personal experience to connect with her on screen and on set.
Yeah, correct.
Great. I'll turn to some of your questions. I see some good questions from you guys. It's Pat. There's a question about the genesis of the film. Can you describe how you came about conceiving and writing the script? I mean, I believe the story originated from a screenwriter actually before it came to your desk. So can you describe a little bit the process of putting the film together and how it came to you?
Sure. The original script was this is almost nothing like the original script, but when but the essence of it was there. It's there. The chemistry between M and Ama, but the rest of the scene were like rewrite it. But there's only one. I think there's only one scenes that only one thing that really was there from the first script until here on the screen is the action that Ama did this. That was originally in the first script, and we managed to keep it there. But the rest of it were the process of there were two writers, my writers and me. We were just sharing our own stories, our like what's our uncles like, what's our moms like, what's our like who would be like the guy who pays for everything in the house, and who would be the guy who always keeps failing, and who would be the woman who take care of grandma no matter what. And we try to, because the story is quite simple, I would say simple, but the character, we try to focus a lot on building up character. Like we try to portray every angle of them, and then so because start off we have no idea that this kind of movie would be a hit. It's a family drama, so I try my best to create a character that the audience could resonate with, hoping that it will make this movie more like mainstream. And and then when we got down all the characters, the plot just evolves around them.
Thank you. Well, I can ask you the same question. In a sense, how early were you involved in the making of the film? I believe the first draft was back in 2020. So at what stage did you become involved in the process? And can you tell us how you got cast?
Which draft when I came in? Is it which draft?
20s?
Oh, okay. 20 version.
And when is the latest? The latest one is
Like
what version?
22nd?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Okay.
So it don't affect the script at all.
Okay, I see. And what did you think of the character? What drew you to play?
No, but actually I talked a lot with him during the writing, and there's a scene where the Ama and M, they both walk back from Ama's older brother's house, and he was like shouting at her like, "This is so stupid. After you die, you're just gonna die. You won't know who come to your grave or not." It actually came from him, this dialogue.
I dropped the question. Wait, sorry, you want to continue? You had something else to add? Did you have something else to add
Okay.
to this?
To this? Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, he's right. He's right.
Cool. So the question that I just dropped was actually for you. What did you learn from acting in this film? Is there any lesson you got in particular from this?
As an actor or as a man?
Both. Let's say both.
For the acting part, I think, as I said, it's a new way of working for me. You know, we have to set a character, a very very strong character, but on the shooting day, he rarely briefed me a thing before I get into a scene, and also there's just a rough blocking. Sometimes he just let me in and then do my own blocking, just stick to the objective of the character. So, and this is very new to me because in my previous one I have to take a lot of things on the set, like blocking, like emotion, like a pacing of a character. But for this one, it's just objective and a whole character, a strong character, just that. And it's give me a lot of freedom to do things on set, to show what the character really want and what he really feels. Yeah, that's for the acting part. But for do you need help?
Don't let me interrupt you.
But for my real life, I'd say that I also have a big family. I grew up with a big family, and sometimes when I realize something as a character, it's also reflect back to my real family that I understand the older generation members more, like how they feel, what is the reason behind the action, or even my grandma, like how much that they love the kids, like all along the time. What's the reason why they did that and those? Yeah, maybe something like that, like family bonding.
The question that just dropped was about your favorite scene in the film, like looking, oh no, come on. I'm doing some serious multitasking in my own defense. Yeah, so what is the scene that touched you the most, emotionally, looking back at the film?
There are many scenes, but today we just talked about the scene that Ama passed away and he sang the lullaby. Yeah, it actually meant a lot on set too, because we were working a lot before the shooting about the character and every scenes. But we try to nail every scene by not thinking about it, by not like planning it, by not planning ahead. So it became very difficult, but at the same time you have to like be very present. Also for me too, and but most especially for him. So we talk a lot about just being here. Like how can we be here as much as we can? How can we be in this moment, not like thinking about the outcome of the scene or of the acting. And we kept doing that for like I think more than half a year. And that scene was shot nearly by the end of the shooting, and he nailed it in one take. So yeah, please.
Good actor.
He nailed it.
Thank you.
Last actor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it was very emotional for me. What the character was like giving off the monitor, but also as a comrade. That we share so much before we reach this scene. Yeah.
What about you? Was it also? Do you have a favorite scene in there, looking back, that really touches you personally?
Actually, it's that one too. We just talk about it today. I think the special thing about the scene is, as he said, we don't focus on anything at the time. We just think about what the character have been through with Ama, and we never think like we don't even think what we feel right now or what we're gonna feel. We just think about the story, about the experience, about the memories of the character, and I just went in there, and then everything came out like that. So I can't even explain like all the feelings or the thing that happens at the day. I think that's the magic of the way of working of this film. I just have to swallow the character and the story, every factor that he write in the script, and just go with the flow with him. Yeah.
Thank you. As a first-time film, a question for you, Pat. As a first-time filmmaker, what are some of the things you wish you knew while making this film that we have now? Amazing movie.
You wish you. Can you repeat that?
Are there things you wish you, looking back, are there things you wish you had known because it's your first feature film?
You mean like the thing that I want to like correct?
No, I mean like you learned as you were making the film, and now looking back, are there things you wish you had known?
I wish I had known.
Yes. So I'm being muddy. In my, question.
No, nothing. I wouldn't wish that. Yeah.
All right. Okay, that's great. Great. So, well, question for you, Bilkin. What's the future looking like? What role would you most want to play next? Is there any story you've been wanting to tell or be in?
Actually, I want to break. Just kidding. Just kidding. Oh, that's a hard question because, I think every role is always challenging for me because how I get into the character or even the different way of acting is also interesting for me. I want to work with him, yeah.
Okay.
But in which role, let he decide. I can be a dog for him.
Wow. Okay. What about you? What's next for you? Do you already have something in the works?
No, nothing.
Not yet.
I have nothing. I'm working for my family now. It's just a family business.
Right. Okay. Were you surprised at the success of the film? Because let's face it, family drama have not been particularly successful lately. Horror is still dominating Southeast Asia in general in Thailand.
Yeah, I'm very surprised, and I think everybody is surprised too. At the studio, we were like, wow. We were like, but I think it's very good for Thai film industry, because before we were dominated, like just like you said, with horror and comedy, but it would be such like a wish. It would be like a dream for every filmmakers to have like more diversity in the industry. So I think this film kind of like paved a little way for those who still have the film or stories that really meaningful to them, but never get a chance to be financed.
Right. Question for the two of you. This movie actually changed how you view your family. P.S. Great job. I love you. I think I know who this is for. All right, both of you.
Not really. but during the process of making this film, it took me so long. It took me 3 years, and every member of my family knew about this. So they were like trying to do their part. So many of them came home more often, and then took Ama for a lunch or like for a walk. So I think that's what's improving in my family. Yeah.
Good. What about yourself?
Yeah, I think it reflects a lot of things back to my own family, like the understanding of others in the family, or especially my grandma, because I lived with her since I was born until now, and every day I can see more clear that she lived for her kids. I can see like every action that she's doing, she always think of her kids. So that makes me like give more attention to my own family, and makes the rest of the time that I can be with them, like makes the rest of the time bolder, I'd say.
And you think that's the lesson of the film, like connecting more with?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Good. We have a teeny bit of time. We have a question here. Actually, our audience member is comparing the film with Edward Yang's Yi Yi. It's a good comparison. This movie is reminiscent of Yi Yi, which is a great comparison. Did that actually serve as an inspiration when making this film? And I can extend this in general.
That word is too kind. I mean, I wouldn't compare. Yeah, but Edward Yang has always been as a filmmaker, he's always just such a master. And I always remember a scene from Yi Yi which completely changed my way of thinking about cinema 10 years ago, is the scenes where the father reunite with his love, like his college love in Japan, and there was this shot that they were arguing in the temple. They were arguing about the past, and they were arguing real hard, but the shot was an extreme long shot, and they keep arguing, and then suddenly it cut to the shot that they were walking up the stairs, and they were like, and they were just like talking normally about the other stuff from the past. That cut totally changed the way I feel about the power of storytelling in cinema. Yeah.
I saw also, it looks a bit sometimes like 1950s and 60s Thai films, in that there's a lot of wide shots, and that's not a style that is very common these days. Was that an inspiration for you, classic, Thai films from that era?
I don't really watch old Thai cinema that much.
Okay, that's just me then.
Yeah, yeah, but I do watch a lot of Asian from the 60s, 70s, and also 80s, and also I'm always very obsessed with the older cinema, yeah, masterpiece.
Thank you. And I think we've run over the time, but you're here for our director and Bilkin. So I want to, maybe you're closing, let me ask one last question for Bilkin.
I don't know about shots, don't ask me. Just kidding.
Don't worry. Okay, so as part of the younger generation, what is your opinion about Asian values, family-oriented values, I'm trying to rephrase the question, versus the more self-oriented values of younger people?
I think it's depend on each people, I would say. But I really enjoy being in the big family, and I'm trying to be like this as long as I can, like trying to teach if I have a kids, I tell them how happy I am, what did I get from being in a big family, and but for someone who loves to be independent, I think it just a different way of living. I think so. I think it's fine. Both ways fine. It depends on your preference. You can choose.
Great, and I think with these words, that's a good way of concluding tonight's session. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.